I think, this is it, I'm dead. I am dead.
And as soon as I chose to let go,
way off in the distance, there's a little perfect, pure white light that's getting closer.
We went up a mud tunnel, which was really what I figured it was at the time, was that they really buried me deep.
that's when I was embraced by this incredible light in this tunnel.
And what happened next was this slowly spinning white light that came towards me, a very clear and pure light that had fine white and gold tendrils off of it.
I'm seeing this golden white light, beautiful, magnificent, gigantic, pouring out energy and light and profound unconditional love that was hitting me, filling me up, and it was powerful. The power that, and I knew I was in the presence of my Creator.
I've never ever felt this kind of love before, and it's really a challenge to put in words to describe the magnitude of the love and the embrace that I felt in this tunnel.
The most beautiful light I'd ever seen. It was just breathtaking. And I remember it coming down and enveloping me and taking me into the light.
And that's when my life review began. And literally for me, the life review was everything from that day that I was born up until that day that I had taken my last breath and I died.
With all color information of what you did from the moment you were born to the moment that you died. It's all simultaneous. And you know it all simultaneously. Within it, there was absolutely no judgment.
And he flashes my life before my eyes. We review it together. And it happens within a millisecond, and it's done. And he is happy with my life. And this is so interesting to me because I feel like I should have been going to the other place. The guy with the tail and the pitchfork.
There were about 150 to 200 people there. And they were beautiful. They were so thrilled to see me. Nobody has ever been that thrilled to see me. They were all applauding. Many of them were crying. Every one of them had to hug me. Some 2 or 3 times had to hug me. I hugged every one of them. They were communicating an affection, a level of affection that is, I've never had that before, ever.
What Jesus was saying is, I am them, and they are me. And that's what I was experiencing. I was them, and they were me, and there was this oneness, this connection that was undeniable. I was all of it. I was everything, and everything was me. But it was all encircled to this intense love and this intense compassion, unconditional love.
And I'm just feeling this unconditional love radiating to me and through me and around me. It's like coming home. It's like coming home to a part of myself I didn't know I had. It's like coming home to myself in a way I had never experienced in life.
I mean, people say heaven or the other side. To me, I was home. It was so familiar. It was so welcoming. I was so joyful to be there. And when I say it felt like a physical experience, everything was super sensory. I could taste the colors. I could smell what I was seeing, and I was elated.
And I remember ascending up into this valley, up into this brilliant greenery, lush with life, absolutely fertile. And I had no body awareness, but I was moving up through it because I was a speck on a butterfly wing. But in that realm, butterflies are far more powerful and amazing than they are in this realm.
Now, lots of people have lots of different experiences, and I think it's always set up according to what would be analogous to them, what would be a comfort for them.
This was one of millions of butterflies, and they were looping and swirling in this beautiful river of love and color and life beyond description. And I remember how we would dip down and go through that lush greenery, and there would be flowers and blossoms, buds on trees that would open up even as we flew by. I remember the rich textures and colors beyond the rainbow, and so beautiful. And in that beautiful valley, as we would come up and ascend above all that greenery, I could see that there were hundreds of souls dancing. Now, the important thing to understand is that Gateway Valley was much more real than this world. Far sharper, crisper, and more real than this. This is very dreamlike by comparison. That was a deep, deep mystery to me for a long time, trying to understand that ultra reality. It's very hard to put it into words.
This whole thing we think is reality is a purple crayon on the back of a bar napkin. This is some crusty old black and white CinemaScope celluloid thing from, I don't know, 1930s. This is nothing compared to what's really real.
It was so real. I mean, it wasn't like a dream at all. Like, it's almost like my senses were multiplied. For instance, in this state, if I can see and smell and taste and hear and all those things, in that state, it was super sensory. It was so real that it makes this life feel like the foggy dream. It's like this feels like the weird, strange, dreamy state. That was reality.
I was just dumbfounded. I couldn't believe what I was experiencing. And as wonderful as that sounds as an analogy, you need to understand this. That analogy absolutely sucks. It does not come close. I could speak about this for 1 billion years nonstop and I would never be able to express it properly.
All that I could contain at that moment was an awareness that it was all perfect. That all of creation for eternity would sit with its mouth open, marveling at how God tied it all up with a bow, and everything was just. There was nothing left out. There was an explanation for everything, and it made perfect sense. And it had to be that way. And it was fair, and it was right, and it was just, and it was good. Every kid in Africa that died of AIDS, every person that was raped or molested or hurt or whatever, somehow, beyond my capacity to understand, it was all part of the plan.
And all of this information that came in this moment of being there, when you cross over, you're privy to all of the universal information. You might not retain it when you come back, but you are there in it in that moment. You are connected to all there is and all that is.
The one thing that was so profound in my experience was the oneness, realizing that we are connected, that I am you and you are me, and that we're really here together. We're all in this together. There's no stepchildren in this family of God. I mean, there's so much division in the world. Everything teaches us that we're separate. You're of that political party, I'm of this one. You're a woman and I'm a man, or you're gay and I'm straight, or you're black and I'm white, or I mean, there's all this segregation, all this division. I have embraced that love is the most powerful force in the universe. Love can heal everything, and it can heal anything if we can simply come together. And in many ways, too, I embrace that as well. You know, I used to live in a fear that the world was going to end or God was going to come and fix it. Now I'm a firm believer that it's up to us. That we're divine, powerful beings. And that if we can embrace that love that is within each of us by loving ourselves and then loving others, that's the ripple effect. That's what creates heaven right here. You know, there's nowhere to go or anything to be. It's to really embrace and love each other here, and suddenly that beautiful place becomes the ground under our own feet.